is on the air. Today we've got a good matchup in store between the Toronto Blue Jays and the Chicago Cubs. It's Interleague Baseball, next on MLB Network. Kyle Hendricks is the man towing the rubber for the Cubs in this one. What's your take on him, Dan?
Hey, this guy's a throwback to when you didn't have to throw the ball through a brick wall. Great assortment of pitches, Kyle Hendricks. He sinks it, he cuts it, has a great changeup, moves the ball in, out, up, and down. Certainly won't blow up a radar gun, but you know what you're going to get every 5 days from this guy? As consistent a starting pitcher as there is in the league right now.
George Springer is in now as he watches a pitch for ball one.
First pitch, 1 o'clock.
Now a swing and a little bouncer softly hit to the right side of the mound. Throw just in time, and oh, that was awfully close. Now a moment as we take a look at the Jays starting 9 for this one. Thoughts, Dan? Who stands out?
Well, I'm excited to see if that man in the 6th spot can keep it going. And this guy is a career 300 hitter. You talk about consistent. He delivers a good at-bat and clutch hits basically every time he walks into the box. I love watching this guy.
Next to hit, Marcus Semien. His matchup numbers with Hendricks. He's gone 3 for 6. 2 of those hits were for home runs. Now a big swing, and this ball is crushed to deep left field, and the wind's going to grab it and take this on to Waveland Avenue. A home run. It's a solo shot for Marcus Semien. As the Jays get the game's first tally, it's 1-0.
Love the homer in the top of the first inning. Give your pitcher a chance to kind of regroup and gather himself with an early lead.
At the plate, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. on the ground and right at the shifted infielders. On to first, and there were 2 down.
Batting fourth, the shortstop, Bo Bichette.
So the bases are empty here with 2 gone. And in to bat next, the legacy Bo Bichette. First offering. Swing and a ball lifted in the air toward the line and right. Hayward is there, and they go down in a hurry here as his side is quickly retired. 1 scores in the inning, coming on this solo home run. On to the bottom of the first here at Wrigley. It's now 1-0 Toronto. Robbie Ray is ready to go as he'll be on the mound for Toronto. Dan Plesac, what's the word on him?
Pretty good stuff from the left side. He's gone through a couple of different deliveries. He used to have that long flowing delivery, then went to that short pocket half delivery. One thing he can do, Matt, when he's on, he can strike some people out. That good hard fastball, that hard slider. You'll know early if he's on. If he has a quick 1-2-3 inning, you'll know right away that Robbie Ray's brought his A game.
Oh, forget about this one. Baba Booey looking up as Dickerson into the bleachers and gone. So it's a solo home run to lead off the bottom of the first. And the Cubs are back to even now at 1 run apiece.
Not a great way to start on the road as a pitcher. Give up a bomb to the leadoff hitter.
Into the box now, number 18. As he'll take a look at a slider here that finds the zone for strike 1. Fastball, and he's quickly in the hole, 0-2.
All the makings of a big inning right here. One already left the yard, and the power hitters are coming up.
And he looks at a ball, 1-2.
Stone cold take right there. That fastball very well could have sent him packing back to the bench.
Still hanging with him. Another good swing to keep it going. Here's another 1-2.
This is a fun guy to watch when he's up there. Really battles. Doesn't take any pitches off. He's a grinder. Always seems to make it difficult on the opposing pitcher.
Now the fastball is right by him as he swings and misses for the first out of the inning.
That is third.
So in now for Chicago, Ian Happ as the switch hitter will bat right-handed here.
Definitely not the side where he hits for more thunder. More pop in the bat swinging left-handed, but he's going to have to figure out a way to start to get a little bit more thunder swinging right-handed against left-handed pitching.
Swing and a miss as he pulls the top hand over. It's 0-2. So let's take a peek at our umpiring crew in this one. Behind the plate is Clyde Washington.
Yeah, Matty, Clyde's my type of umpire. I didn't mind the low strike zone, and that's exactly what he had. If you're not going to give him above the belt, I'm okay with it.
Hero, you know, one of the things I guess with Clyde is he is a real good low strike umpire. Pitchers seem to like him more than hitters, but one thing I will say, he has a very consistent zone. It's a low zone, but a consistent zone.
Wilson Contreras is in with 2 away here as this one swung on and missed for the first strike. The slider is laid off on the inside as it just misses the zone. Now the 1-1 pitch. Slider, and that's hit on the ground towards second. Simeon's got it. Throw in time, and the side is retired. Now at the plate here is Teoscar Hernandez, as it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up to kick off the second inning. He's ready. Here's the first pitch. Too low, 1-0. Popped him up. Contreras is camped under this one, and he's got it for the first down.
Batting 6. The catcher.
Okay, here's how the Cubbies are lining up defensively. In the outfield, Jason Hayward, elite defender. Takes amazing routes to the ball, unbelievable arm, a guy you need playing defense for you.
The batter will be Alejandro Kirk, as he'll pick on the first pitch and line one back up the middle, and that's a base hit.
Batting 7. The left fielder, number 23, Corey Dickerson.
In now, Corey Dickerson, and it's belted high and deep into right center. And that's just shy of the baskets and off the ivy. And a relay home, but not in time as he's across with the run.
And these guys are showing some consistency in the early going here. Got a run in the first inning, and this double ensures that they'll at least get a run here in the second.
So now to the plate, Santiago Espinal, as he'll watch a sinker here that misses. It's ball 1. The set and the 1-0 pitch. Tried to hold up there, appeal down to first, and no swing. It's ball 2. Line toward the gap in left center, and he won't get it as that's down for a base hit. And not in time as the run scores. Well, Dan, do you agree with the timing of the visit from the pitching coach?
Looks like the pitching coach is going to come out and have a word with him. Don't like to see that in the second inning, but once he makes sure he's okay physically, I'm sure it'll be just words of encouragement the rest of the way.
Standing in now, Robbie Ray. Pulled toward right center field. Center fielder giving chase. He gets there and makes a fine running play for the second out.
Up next for the Blue Jays.
Next to dig in, George Springer. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far.
Yeah, Matty, and it looked like a sinker in his last AB that got him to roll over. Kind of similar situation right here. Similar stuff on the mound. Look for them to try and get him to do exactly the same thing as his last AB. He's got to fight to get it elevated just a little bit more.
Working for the punch out and the offering. Strike 3 on a pitch in the dirt. The throw to first is in time and the inning is over. So it's 2. Last half of the second set to go, and set to go is the third baseman, Patrick Wisdom.
The third baseman.
Here's the first pitch.
Number 16.
A fastball here too low. It's 1-0. And he looks at a slider in there. 1-1. And he misses. 2-1. Hit sharply on the ground. Taken in by Semien. And there's one down now.
Batting 6.
All right, guys, here's the defensive alignment for the Toronto Blue Jays today. And can we focus on George Springer, one of the more dynamic outfielders in our sport? He will leave his feet. He's got a cannon for an arm, not afraid to dive in and say hi to the fans if a ball's going near there too. Do not test this guy's arm.
And he will make the play out there, and there are 2 away now.
Batting 7. The shortstop, Nico Horner.
So the bases are empty with 2 gone now. And up next, Nico Horner. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes. Now a swing and a softly hit ground ball. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Another one fouled off, and he's quickly behind 0-2. Swung on and missed, and that's the final out of the inning. 3 up, 3 down for the Cubs, and it remains a 3-1 ball game. Back with Mark DeRosa and Dan Plesac, Matt Vasgersian, as the Cal Berkeley product Marcus Semien is the first to bat in the inning. Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. One and two now as that one's fouled off. Into the windup and the pitch. This one's flared out toward left. Horner's got it for the first out.
The batter, the first baseman, Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Up next, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. He's 0 for 1 after grounding out in his only trip to the plate so far. And now the first pitch. Here's a shot to left field and deep. And gone. An absolute bomb. A solo shot here to left as the Jays have opened it up now to 4-1.
Well, he's given up 2 long balls in just 2 1/3 innings of work. So it seems as though they might have his number here. Not sure how much more the manager wants to see. He needs to turn it around quick if he wants to stay in this one for a while.
Stepping in now, Bo Bichette. As he swings and misses at a first pitch fastball. 0-1. 0 for 1 for him here in this one. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Lofted in the air out toward right center. Madrigal onto the grass. He tracks it down and makes the play to record the second out.
Boy, he showed some pretty good range heading pretty deep into the outfield to bring that one down. Thought the outfielder might call him off, but he clearly had it under control.
Teoscar Hernandez digging in now. As he'll come up empty that time on a sinker, it's strike one. 0 for 1 after a pop out in foul territory his first time through. A 1 pitch on its way. Curveball, but he can't get him to chase it. 1-2. Hit down the third baseline. But this is a foul ball as the count holds steady at 1-2.
He's got a good feel for his off-speed pitches second time through the order, and we just saw 3 in a row.
Misses. Ball 2.
So you'd love for him to offer at that one, but the execution was flawless. Nice curveball that starts in the zone and breaks just out. Just a great take by the batter.
Swing and a line drive. That gets down and the inning continues. You can relate, Dan. So what's going through the pitcher's mind right now?
Well, Matt, as we take a look at his line here, he might not know all the specifics, but he knows he hasn't been pitching all that well in this one. Sometimes it happens. You start a game and never completely get into that rhythm. Seems to be the case here.
At the plate, Alejandro Kirk. Grounder down the line at third. But this gets foul. It's 0-1. He collected a base hit his first time up. Nothing in 1 count. Here it comes. Tied him up there as this is softly hit down the line. And he'll step on the bag himself, and the inning is over. But add on 1 more as the solo shot stretches their lead even further. Bottom of the third coming up. It's now 4-1 in favor of the Jays. Now into the box, number 66. This will be his first trip to the plate in this one.
The center fielder, number 66.
Pitch on the way. Here's a first pitch slider that just tails out of the zone. It's ball 1. A 2-ball, no strike count to the Cubs center fielder.
Hey, after those 2 breaking balls missed, you have to be sitting on a fastball right here.
This is hit the other way out toward left field. And 1 away now here in the Chicago third.
Batting ninth.
So the next at bat will be Kyle Hendricks. At the knees, strike 1.
Expect the guy on the mound to keep attacking the zone. He wants a quick inning so he won't be nibbling.
Behind 0-2 now. 4-1's our score here in inning number 3. Oh, and this is swung on and missed. 4 strikeouts already, and that's out number 2.
Well, you know AL pitchers must love pitching in NL ballparks because all of a sudden they're only facing 8 legitimate hitters in the lineup instead of 9. Kind of makes you wonder why any free agent pitcher would ever decide to pitch in the AL, doesn't it?
The batter will be Nick Madrigal. He'll look to duplicate his first at-bat when he homered to open the inning. Now here's the pitch. High in the air down the right field line. Hernandez is in pursuit. He's got it. A great running play, and that'll retire the side. Cubs are down in order. They trail it 4-1. All set for the start of the inning, and standing in is the veteran outfielder, Corey Dickerson.
Number 23, Corey.
First offering. And he gets the call that time for strike number 1.
Well, it's been a rough one so far. 4 runs through 3 innings. It's about time to get that pitch count down, or he won't be out here very long.
Here's a fastball that crowds him a bit, and it's 1-1. Dickerson, playing here in his age 31 season. He was an 8th-round selection back in the 2010 first-year player draft.
I know this guy wouldn't go into the category of superstar, but to grind out the career he has being drafted where he was, my hat's off to him.
Here he comes on a ball and 2 strikes. And that one misses badly. It's ball 2. High in the air and drifting out to shallow center. In there, a base hit.
The third baseman, number 5, Santiago Espinal.
Into the box, Santiago Espinal. Now, oh my, this ball is crushed. Look at it go. This one's into the bleachers and gone. So a 2-run homer down the line in left, and it's now a 6-1 ball game.
Man, this has been a rough one for this guy so far. That's the 3rd homer he's allowed today. He better start keeping the ball down in the strike zone, or that total might continue to rise.
Into the box now, Robbie Ray.
Robbie.
As the sinker to him finds the zone for strike 1.
It's really hard to match up this poor performance when you dive into the numbers. This guy's thrown over 80% of his first pitches for strikes, but he's going to need to have to clean his stuff up a little bit better and get the ball down in the strike zone.
Blue Jays pitcher with an even 1-1 count. Here it comes. Fouled away. The 1-2. Lined hard toward right center. And the pitcher's got himself a base hit.
Well, you never want to give up a hit to an opposing pitcher, but when you give one up to an AL pitcher, it's downright annoying. Can't let it get to you, though.
George Springer the next to hit, as he'll try to hold back on the swing, but he went around for the first strike. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one. Here comes the 0-1. Just a tick behind for a strike. Some action out in the bullpen. Couple of right-handers starting to loosen up. Hit on the ground to third. Fielded cleanly. One there. On to first, and they turn the double play.
It's hard to do anything with a pitch like that that's below the zone. And if you do anything with it, most of the time, this will be the result. A double play on a good pitch down in the zone.
In now, Marcus Semien. The swing and lift a ball fouled off to the left and out of play. He's working on a 1 for 2 game so far. Just a bit late, and he's fallen behind 0-2. 6 runs, 9 hits, and no errors in the game for Toronto. Got him swinging, and that will end the inning. So stepping in is number 18. He's 0 for 1 thus far. So they pick up no runs, no base hits, no errors, and none left. And the pitch. Oh, and this ball is absolutely blasted. High and deep into the bleachers and gone. So So a solo shot here to left center field as the lead is cut to 4. It's 6-2 now.
Hey, listen, there's an old adage in baseball that solo home runs won't kill you. This is one of the top hitters in that lineup. So a home run, a solo home run right here, it's not the end of the world.
And that'll bring in the Pittsburgh area native Ian Happ, as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike 1. Comes into this at bat 0 for 1 in the ball game. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
Hey, usually the second time through the order, you start seeing an incorporation of some more off-speed stuff. But this guy's locating and feeling really good about his fastball. 2 back-to-back.
And the knuckle curve freezes him as he becomes out number 1.
The catcher, number 40.
So bases are empty with 1 out now. And Wilson Contreras digs in at the plate. Here's the first pitch to him. Here's the 0-1 pitch. In there, and he's in control 0-2 now. This one's down to third. He's got it. In time to first, and there are 2 away.
The bat.
And now here is Patrick Wisdom, grounded out in his last at-bat. Drops in a strike to start the at-bat. 0-1. Down the third baseline. But this will be a foul ball as he's behind 0-2 now. 0-2 count and the pitch. Strike 3 called and the inning is over. The Cubs do get 1 back on the solo home run. We're through 4. Now a 6-2 ball game. Welcome back to the north side of Chicago. Back here at Wrigley Field as we check in with Heidi.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Blue Jays to discuss his thoughts on his team's lineup so far. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. He said they did not want to wait around and let good pitches to hit go by. And as a result, they have 5 hits on the first pitch alone, guys.
Thank you, Heidi. Ready to go in the top of the 5th, and that brings up the big bat of Vladimir Guerrero Jr.
Yeah, not fooled by that breaking ball in his last AB at all. He jumped all over it. It's such a good feeling as a hitter when you know you're picking up the secondary stuff right out of the pitcher's hands.
Ready to deal. Here comes the first pitch. Fouled off. Wind up and the 0-1. Here's a fly ball now lifted in the air out to right, and that'll get down for a base hit. And a nice job to get the ball in quickly. He'll be held to a single here with nobody out. Dan, it seems like they've had his number all game long.
Yeah, Matty, I mean, the numbers don't lie. They've tagged him for 10 hits, including that last one, and he's having a hard time getting out of any trouble. They might be buying some time to let the relievers get a few more pitches in before they give him the hook.
Here comes the Chicago skipper now up out of the dugout on his way to the mound. And a change is in the offing, as that'll be all for his starter this afternoon.
Ladies and gentlemen,
so he'll depart after working just 4+ innings, as this will not go down as a quality start, that's for sure. Standing in now, Bo Bichette. Now a big swing, and this ball is crushed out to deep center field. And it's gone into the bleachers. Two-run shot to straightaway center, as it's now a 6-run ball game.
Man, that's not very nice. You come in from the bullpen and you get greeted with a bomb. He's going to have to hit the reset button pronto.
So that'll bring in Teoscar
The
Hernandez.
right fielder.
As the first pitch to him is off the plate for a ball, 1-0. 1 for 2 in the ball game thus far. Comes in with the changeup, and it's 2-0. Base is empty here with nobody out. Now that ball is smoked, carrying to deep left. A ball that's carrying. On the warning track, he makes the catch. The Cubs are into their bullpen now, as there are the final numbers for their starter. And he'll likely do his best to forget about today.
Yeah, nothing seemed in sync for him out there in this one, Matt. He just couldn't get the ball where he wanted to, and the opponents really took advantage of that. That's a brutal feeling sitting in the dugout. Know that you disappointed your team and you went out there and laid an egg.
Alejandro Kirk comes on with one away as he looks at a ball. It's 1-0. Swing and a miss for strike one.
He's going to have to set his sights a little lower right there. That pitch was able to get by him. His swing was just a little under that one.
Takes this the other way to right, and that's in for his second hit of the afternoon.
Hey, guys, that's a great job of hitting right there. Pitcher executes his pitch down and away below the knees, and a right-handed batter is able to stay inside and push it through the 3-4 hole. Nothing you can do.
So now to the plate, Corey Dickerson, as he pops the first pitch foul behind the plate. 2 hits and 2 trips for him thus far. 0-1, here it comes. Kirk stands at first with 1 out. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
High fly ball out to straightaway center. Number 66 is there, and he makes the catch for the out. Stepping in for the Jays, Santiago Espinal. He's off to a fast start in this one, 2 for 2, including a home run.
Very rarely, Matt, do you see a first pitch changeup hit out of the ballpark. That tells me right now that this guy was up there looking for the changeup in that last at bat. We'll see if they pitch him any differently here.
High in the air out to center field. And no trouble for him as he makes the catch to end the inning. Welcome back for the bottom of the 5th. Here's Heidi Wackney.
Thanks, Matt. In between innings, I was able to catch up with the manager of the Cubs to discuss his thoughts on his lineup so far. And he told me he feels like they're being too patient at the plate right now. He said the problem is they're allowing themselves to fall behind in the count way too often, which is forcing them to constantly be in protect mode and swing at bad pitches. A lot of their outs have come from at-bats where they've fallen behind, so the focus going forward needs to be about being the aggressor early in the at-bats.
Good stuff, Heidi. Thanks. First pitch coming, here it is. Jason Hayward is in to start things out as he swings and misses at that one at strike 1. A swinging strike, and now it's 0-2. Swing and a miss, and he'll start the 5th the same way he ended the 4th with a punch out, 1 away.
Man, this guy's on his game today, not only when he's throwing strikes, but how about the amount of strikeouts? What's even more impressive, no walks up to this point. So he's pounding that zone with strikes, and he's making these hitters swing the bat.
In now is Nico Horner. Just gets a piece of it, strike 1. Horner is a guy that has a lot of speed, no doubt about that. And while that's certainly a weapon for him offensively, it could be argued that it benefits him just as much on the defensive side of the ball, given the position he plays.
And not only just speed, but first step quickness speed. He's able to track balls down that other guys cannot get to. and sometimes that's half the equation.
Ready with another 0-2. Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes, but it misses 1 and 2. 2 runs on 2 hits. No errors so far for the Cubbies. And he struck him out. Good pitch there as he registers his 8th punch out of the ball game.
2 up, 2 down on strikes in this inning.
Now
He
batting.
looks really sharp out there, guys.
To the plate now, number 66, as the changeup to him drops in there for the first strike. Trying to avoid becoming the 3rd strikeout victim of the inning here. And it's quickly 0-2. The Cubs are down to their final strike here. Hit on the ground down the first baseline. Scooped up, and he'll step on first for the out, and the ball game is over.
Well, this game had its moments, but it got out of hand pretty quick. Always nice when you can coast to a 6-run win. Save your closer for another day and let everyone in on the action.
8-2 is how this one ends today. The Toronto Blue Jays get the win on the heels of 4 home runs. Robbie Ray gets the W on the mound. Kyle Hendricks allowed 7 earned runs to